Assalamu alaikum. Now we'll try to understand the stages of documenting the Quran. So how the Quran reached to us with this mushaf. So it came from the Allah yani, to us like this, or how? So first, in the beginning, as we mentioned, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to ask the Sahaba, some Sahaba, those called Kuttab al-Wahi, those who are writing the revelation. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them to write each paragraph or each verse or each ayah as soon as it was sent down in front of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in front of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this we can understand it from the hadith Sahih at Tabari. Zayd ibn Thabit. Zayd ibn Thabit, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, radiallahu anhu, he said that he used to write the revelation while he was with the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And he would dictate to me. Zayd ibn Thabit, he said, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam dictated to me, and dictated from his tongue to the Zayd ibn Thabit. And Zayd ibn Thabit, he used to write down everything that the Prophet Muhammad said to him. Then he said, when I would finish, after I finish, the Zayd ibn Thabit, he would say, read. And I would read. Then Zayd ibn Thabit read. So the Prophet Muhammad he dictate to Zayd ibn Thabit. Zayd ibn Thabit writes everything. Then Zayd ibn Thabit take this script, then read it to the Prophet Muhammad back. Then Zayd ibn Thabit, he said, if there was a fault, any mistake or any changes in the letters, Zayd ibn Thabit, he said, he would correct it to me. The Prophet Muhammad correct to him. So you can imagine the situation. The Zayd ibn Thabit, he used to learn from the Prophet Muhammad and the Prophet Muhammad used to dictate to Zayd ibn Thabit. Then I would go out to convey to the people. So this is a situation of how and the first stages of writing the revelation or writing the wahy. So this is important stage, because some people, they don't understand this point, and they are saying we are just get the Quran from Allah to the Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad he gave it, but the first was the Prophet Muhammad was dictating every letter, every word from his tongue to the Sahaba. And some ulama, they said, through even when the wahi he was exist with the Prophet Muhammad in the time of the revelation was present, the wahi is still with the Prophet Muhammad. This was the first stage. The second stage, compiling the above mentioned. So this was in different pages in the leather of the goats, for example, and was with the Sahaba. And Sahaba, they compiling the first compilation to the Quran was in the time of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he is the first Khalifa after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. And we know this in the year of Al-Yamama, that the majority of the Qurra and Huffaz and Hafiz al-Quran, they have been killed in the year of Al-Yamama. The Prophet Muhammad, the Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and Umar ibn Khattab advised Abu Bakr as-Siddiq to compile the Quran in one book rather than leave it as a different scripts with scrolls with different Sahaba. And this was easy for the Sahaba. No, the Sahaba was very very strong in investigating each letter. They will compile it. So they didn't leave it as anyone can put anything in the Quran. The Sahaba, they were very strong as a muhaqqiqeen, investigators. They used to ask all the Sahaba, they have this script, and they combining together, and they have two witnesses for each scroll. And if someone, he has one ayah, he must find someone else to have the same ayah with him, until they compiled all the Quran during the time of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. This is the era of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Then the third stage, writing several copies of this above mentioned scrolls of the leather goats. They combine it together in the time of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And Uthman time, they start to make different copies. And people, they don't understand this. When we ask people when the time of the Quran have been compiled, they are saying in the time of Uthman. Uthman, he just make copies, and this copies was also with very very strong way. They make like committee, and this was with the highest Sahaba level as scholars. The highest scholars of the Sahaba, they used to be as a reference for each letter will be copied, and for each words will be copied from the scrolls to the main copy of Uthman. Uthman, as the majority of the ulama, they mentioned Uthman sent like around 6 different copies to different territories of the Muslims everywhere, and send one of the qari, one of the strongest qari, one of the strongest companions of the Sahaba to these countries, and those qari, they taught the Sahaba with the best way. This was the third stage. The fourth and fifth stage, the fourth, the people, they start, the Muslims, they start to make different copies, many copies with the same and exactly. They didn't change anything, but maybe the typing of writing, how to write. Some people they can say, ask if there is dots and fatha and kasra and dhamma from the time of the Sahaba and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, this occurred after the time of people. They start to confuse between النون and the ta and the ba. Because of this, these different dots put it after this. And the fifth stage, the ulama, the scholars, they start to make the science of scribing the Quran, the science of the writing the Quran, how they are writing the Quran, how they are making the tajweed and fatha and kasra and dhamma and sukun. This those are the stages of, as we mentioned, documenting the Quran, and still until now, this is like big branch in the Quran science and the ulum al-Quran, how to write the Quran. No one can write the Quran without gaining knowledge from the science of Tajweed and the science of ulama al-Quran. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have all these science and all this knowledge. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.